What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Quadcast, the show where we get real, get raw, and get loud about mental health, substance use, and the fight to take our lives back.
Each episode, we're cutting through the stigma, dropping knowledge, sharing stories, and bringing the heat with guests who have lived it and aren't afraid to talk about it.
So turn it up, lock in, and let's break barriers, spark change, and build a community that refuses to stay silent. You're tuned into the Quadcast, and let's get into it.
You can find us on Patreon, Facebook, Instagram, or email us. The Quadcast is always looking for new guests, whether you're individuals that have experienced it, you're in law enforcement, treatment programs, nurses, doctors, or anyone that just has something to say. Come share your story with us on mental health or substance abuse.
Warning, there's cussing in this video. If you don't like swear words, well, you're
watching the wrong damn show.
Mac, to tell you, man, to kind of speed this up to the ending of it, man, to tell you how bad my addiction was, how bad my alcoholism, and just truly just how bad my just addiction, let's just say it like that.
Sure.
Dennis said, "You're going to follow me the entire way home. You're not going to stop unless I have to stop." And I was like, "Yes, sir, no problem." We were on the road for maybe 10 miles. And this was it was an absolute total mistake, like absolute total mishap. Dennis realized that he had to get off on an exit, and I missed it. Not because I was trying to miss it on purpose. It was just he was in the left lane, got to the right, and then got off, and there was a car in between us, and I couldn't get over.
Oh, shit.
So he calls me and goes, "Where are you going?" And I was like, I couldn't get over that. Tahoe or whatever it was in the way. He was like, "All right, meet me at the next exit." I was like, "Okay, no problem." The minute I hung up, I dumped the clutch and floored it to the next exit, drove right up into the gas station. I had $5 to my name.
Oh, my God.
Walked right into that gas station, grabbed 2 or 1 Four Locos. As I walked up, now, remind you, this is how oblivious I am to reality. As I walk up to the cash register, hand them the Four Locos, the woman looks at me and goes, "Do you have your ID?" Reality sets in. I don't have my ID because when you get arrested out of state, they keep your license till you go to court.
Oh, shit.
And I'm sitting there in the same clothes that I went to jail in, and I look on my wrist, and I have my ID tag from where I was processed, but it has my birth date on it.
Oh, my God.
I swear on my daughter's beating heart, this is the God's honest truth. I looked down at my wrist, I saw it, and I went, "No, ma'am, but I do have this." And I held it right up to her face, and she looked at it, and I'll never forget the look on that woman's face. She looked at it, she looked at me, saw that I had the same clothes on, and she just goes, "You be careful, huh?" Or she said something, but it didn't matter what the hell she said to me. It's just the look on her face. And buddy, I grabbed that Four Locos. I got back in my car. I cracked it, rolled the car, rolled the car, put her right back on the interstate. And as soon as I got on the interstate, threw it in 5th gear and hit the cruise button. I smashed it as quick as I could, threw the can under my seat, popped some gum, mouthwash, met Dennis at the next exit. I did all this within like a 7 to 8 minute window.
Oh,
and yeah, dude. And Dennis didn't know. He knows now, but he didn't know. And we drive all the way back to Lewisburg. And yeah, so I continue to drink, and I continue to drink, and I continue to drink until I go down to North Carolina. I had drank the entire night before, and my mother had to take me all the way down to North Carolina to meet with my assessor, because they have to meet with an assessor when you're from out of state, because then they have to make their assessment to give to your public defender to then make an idea of what they want you to do for your consequences.
Right.
And I drank the entire night before. And I remember when I woke up the next morning, when my mom was getting ready, she said, "Put your shoes on." And Mac, I couldn't even put my fucking shoes on my feet.
Shit.
And my mother said, "Are you okay? Why are you having such a hard time putting your shoes on, Dalton?" I was like, I'm just fucking tired, Mom. And
Yeah, I'm sure she believed that.
yeah, buddy, we pulled up to the Shell station right there beside Walmart, getting ready to get on the interstate.
Yeah.
She come out of that Shell station, grabbed me a large black coffee, and she said, "Here, you're gonna need this. Probably need to sober up before you end up going back to fucking jail." And then about that time, I was like, she said, I'll never forget. She said, "I could beat the fuck out of you right now." And I was like, yeah. And I remember we were driving and not a word was said. The radio wasn't playing, nothing. I just remember my mom going, huh. And I just turned to her with the attitude that I didn't need to have. And I just go, what? And she goes, "I hope they fucking take you to jail."
Oh my God.
And I was like, well, yeah, I probably deserved that one. Probably deserved that. So I go down to this woman, man, and again, I'm just now sobering up, and I go down there and I walk in, and uh, I'd been smoking weed, not telling my mom about it, but I had passed the or I actually had smoked weed right in front of my mother, and my mom saw it, and I told my mom exactly how I was going to pass the test. I had done it so many times before, and I took took the flush drink or whatever, and I was ready to go. Like I knew I was going to go down there, take a drug test, pass it, and come home. And she goes, "All right, Mr. Cline, I'm going to get your paperwork together. I just need you to pee in this cup and blow in this breathalyzer." And I went, fuck. I walked right into the woman's office and I said, "Ma'am, with all due respect, I'm going to pass that drug test, but I'm not going to pass that breathalyzer." She said, "Oh, honey, don't worry about it. I smelled you when I walked in the door."
Oh,
I was like, God damn. Okay. So this is when the crocodile tears come out, and I'm like, oh, I can't get right. The same old sob ass story I always give.
right.
And needless to say, she's like, "You're going to rehab," and I'm like, "Yeah, you're probably right." So I get court ordered to rehab. So a couple months go by, and it's time to go, and I end up, not going back to Florida. We can't go back to Florida anymore.
No, I think we
So
done wore out that welcome.
yeah, we've wore out the welcome in the great sunshine state of Florida, and so
Maybe because you're on probation so many places you can't leave.
yeah, can't leave the state. So now we've got to move with our P's and Q's, because if either one of these states finds out that I've broke bond, I'm screwed. So I end up at the lovely little place, a Harmony Ridge Recovery Center up here in Walker, West Virginia, and I end up here. And the day I get there, my mom and Dennis couldn't have got out of there any quicker. They just dropped me and was like, "Figure it out." They were fed up with me, which I completely understand. They should have been done with me well before then. And the process of me getting into this place was a lot longer. And what I mean, like after they strip searched me and was going through all my stuff, like it was taking forever.
Right.
Until finally they kept saying, "Oh yeah, we know you're on the intake list, but we just can't find you on here," and blah 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 blah. And like 3 hours go by, man, and like next thing you know, they go, "We don't have a bed for you."
What the
And I'm
fuck?
like, "Well, do me a favor. You go ahead and call my mother and tell her that." So they call my mom and tell her, and she said, "Let me explain something to you. I live 4 hours away. I'm already 2 hours on the road, and I have to work tomorrow. You fuck this up, you figure it out. I'm not coming to get him." So here I am. So I tell them, I'm like, "Hey, just give me a blanket and a pillow. I'll sleep in your lobby till you can get my bed situation figured out." So, needless to say, I meet this guy who was the one that strip searched me, man, and come to find out he actually worked at Recovery Point. He was like, "Hey, man, listen, I got an offer for you. You're probably not going to like it, but at least you'll have somewhere to go." And I'm like, "What's up?" And he's like, "Why don't you come stay at my treatment facility till they get your bed right here?" And I'm like, "Where's your facility?" And he's like, "It's called Recovery Point." And I'm like, "Okay." What's it like? He's like, oh, it's like here. He lying through his teeth. He's like, oh, it's like here. It's a little bit different, but it's not bad. I'm like, okay. First words out of my mouth. Is it co-ed? And he goes, no, man, it's all men. I'm like, okay, whatever. He's like, well, listen, you can just stay in detox until we get your bed right, and then you can come back here. I'm like, all right, perfect. I ended up there for a week.
Shit.
A week. And when I tell you I couldn't have ran out of Recovery Point faster, I couldn't have ran out of Recovery Point faster. So they get me back to Harmony Ridge to do my court order 30 days. I end up there for 30 days. And in the process of being there, man, like I really started talking to these guys that worked there that had went through the program of Recovery Point. And like the way that they carried themselves and the way that they talked and the way that they just, I don't know, man, they just kind of had that aura about them. And I just really, really was intrigued by it. And I was just like, man, like these guys got these crazy stories and they went to Recovery Point and now they're okay. Like, how is that possible? Like, I want to know more about this. So after 30 days, I had nowhere else to go. And I'm like, I'm going to go to Recovery Point. And I'm like, okay. So I go right back to Recovery Point. And I go back there and I go through the program and I end up there for 14 months. I was there for almost 14 months, I think. Yeah, something like that, man. All through COVID and everything, man. So, yeah, man, it changed everything, the way I think, thought, felt, acted, everything. It 100% beat me into a state of reasonableness, man. I really dived deep into that AA book and I really started to understand it. And I really started to understand the structure of how to work the steps and the true meaning of amends and the fourth step and taking inventory and letting go of ego and self and letting go of resentment and just really starting to get a general understanding of like who I was and what I did and how I can fix it. So I go through the program, man, and after I get done with the program, I get offered a job to come work as a BHT back at Harmony Ridge. And all I'd ever wanted to do through this entire time of being in and out of treatment centers was to work in recovery. And I finally was given the opportunity to do so. So I get a job working back out at the same place that I was at as a client a year before. And I get out there, man, and I love it. And I'm like really doing it. Like I'm all about it. I've got that fresh, sober high, you know what I mean? Like I'm like diving head first into helping people and Captain Recovery, as you will. Like I'm really, really, really loving it.
Sure.
And lo and behold, there was this loud, obnoxious, funny, very assertive woman.
I was getting ready to say, I swear to God, if you say a female.
Man, there was
For everybody listening to this is where you should say no.
This is where you should say no. Absolutely.
We should have said no 5 times ago.
Yeah,
but 100%. This is exactly where you should have said no.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So there's this, I mean, she's just this, I'm telling you, man, she is a character. And like I see her walking up and down these hallways telling these grown-ass men what to do and what not to do and telling these clients to sit down and telling these clients they need to go to group. And then when the girls back talk her, she gives it right back to them. And telling the guys when they want to smart mouth her, she's telling them to shut the fuck up. And I mean, she's quick as a hiccup, dude. But I mean, when it comes to men, like she's very assertive. And I was just like, man, well, and my ego being who I am, the first time I ever met her, she's like asking telling me what I need to do and what not need to do and things like that. And my ego, I look her dead in her face and I go, "You don't know who I am, do you?" And she's
Oh,
like,
shit.
"Excuse me?" And I'm like, "You don't know who I am, do you?" And she's like, "Honey, I don't really give a shit who you are. You're going to do what I tell you. I'm your boss."
Oh, my
And I was like,
God.
"Yeah, okay, yeah, we'll see about that." Well, needless to say, she was like fed up with me in the first 30 seconds of meeting me. Um, but fast forward, that woman's name is Haley. Haley is now my wife, and she's the mother of my child. Um, yeah, dude,
Boy, how
crazy.
that shit happens.
Yeah, crazy, dude. Crazy, 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 crazy. Uh, yeah, dude, my ego was like, oh, I see how this girl, I know what she needs. And, just thinking I got it all figured out, dude. And needless to say, like it just, I don't know, like when I finally laid my ego down and like had a simple conversation with her, she started to realize that like her and I were a lot alike. But in certain ways. And I was intrigued. I was intrigued by her for the simple fact is just man, like how young she's 4 years younger than me, but like, dude, she bought her first brand new car at like 21, 22 years old, or 20, 21 years old. She was basically a manager at this facility. She's never smoked weed a day in her life, but she's always worked in the healthcare, or some type of field of work. And she just like the way she carried herself, man. Of course she's going to pick around, have fun, and things like that. But just like the way she carried herself outside of work, I was very, very, very um, intrigued.
She
And
she probably had that sense of accountability that you
She
were
she
looking
did,
for.
man. She kind of was on her own at a young age. Her and I kind of have the same upbringing when it comes to like divorced parents and
Uh-huh.
things like that. She just and funny enough, which I mentioned this, and you may have to do an interview with him at some point. So her brother is the same age as us.
Okay.
Her brother um, was in an accident years ago and was paralyzed from the neck down.
No
But
doubt.
he was able to regain his mobility. He can fully walk. He can use all of his extremities now.
Sure.
But the process of that, which he won't be able to talk about this much after he was unfortunately in an accident in the oil fields not
Okay.
even a month ago and lost all but his pinky.
No shit.
Yeah, dude, he basically lost his entire hand, man. And he's like, what are the odds that I get paralyzed and get everything back and then I lose a hand? Yeah,
Damn.
yeah, dude. He's a trooper, dude. He is. He's a trooper. But
That's
uh,
crazy.
yeah, I told him that I was going to be doing this with you, man, and I was like, I think he would be a great, great.
Yeah,
Um,
dude. If it even not recorded, that'd be big.
yeah.
That'd be a good conversation.
Oh man, he's awesome. I mean, he is truly. He's my brother-in-law, but he's like a brother to me, man. He's good people.
It's
But
crazy how shit happens like that.
yeah, dude. And just like I said with my wife, man, like she dropped out of med school to take care of him when he was in the hospital.
Really.
And yeah, man, because like I said, he didn't regain mobility for months. And
That's
getting to
crazy.
know her and find out about this stuff, man, like I could just tell, like she loved hard, like she just cared. And the fact of the matter is that like she wasn't in recovery herself, but she cared so much about people in recovery and like the things that she did and how she went out of her way to do it. I don't know, man. It just like I really, really, really was fascinated by it. And like I said, one thing led to another, dude. And 7 seconds later, she got pregnant.
Well, still didn't learn what you did wrong.
No, no, did not learn a damn thing. Did not learn.
Yeah.
Got sober.
Yeah.
That's about it.
I mean, one battle accomplished, but we
One
still got to
battle
work on that
accomplished.
prevention thing.
Yeah, for sure, man. But I will tell you, the way I look at it now, man, it's like third time's a charm. You know what I mean? It sucks that it had to get to that point, but it was the best thing that could happen. And I will truly attest to this 100%. My daughter was the best thing that ever happened to me. The best thing that could happen to me. Meeting my wife was one, but my daughter really just put the icing on the cake.
I can understand that.
Yeah, it just changed everything. My life as a whole just completely changed when she came into this world, man. Because like you know this as well as I do, uh, it does something to you as a man because all you want is that son. You wanna be able to teach him things and teach him what not to do as a man and stuff like that, dude. But like when you have a daughter, it's a whole different ball game.
Dude, being a girl dad is hard as shit.
Yeah, it's a whole different ball game. And then when the daughter's exactly like its mother, then you're just no, I'm just kidding. No, my Riley is a spitting image of me, and it is
I
going
get
to
the
be the death of me, but it
yeah,
is what it is.
yeah. Ava could have come out my ass.
Yeah, yeah. Riley has my attitude. She has my temper tantrums. She acts the exact same way that I did when I was her age. And I'm gonna end up dead or in prison because of her is what's gonna happen. But that's fine. It is what it is. As long as she's okay and she's happy, I don't really give a shit. But
That's about all we can do.
yeah.
First time I realized Ava was just like me. She opened the back door and yelled at one of the dogs and told them to get their ass in the house. And she was merely 4 years old.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, damn, this ain't good.
No. But I mean, and just to kind of give you an idea, like how my wife was, man, like when we first got together, um, I remember when she called me and told me that she was pregnant with Riley. Um, I remember her calling me crying, and I already knew. Like I knew, and funny enough, and this is just a side story, but it's what makes it funny. About a week before she found out she was pregnant, we were at work together,
Mm-hmm.
and we always picked at each other when we were at work. And she kept smacking me, and I turned around just like backhanded her in the belly, and she was like,
Oh
"Stop,
shit.
stop! You're gonna hurt your baby." And I'm like, "Shut the fuck up."
Oh my god.
And needless to say, a week later, she finds out she's pregnant, and I'm like, "Dude, this is witch doctor. This is a witch doctor. This
That's
is
crazy.
witchcraft. Like this is 100% witchcraft." And so, but it's just funny though because it's just like how it all came together, dude. And I remember sitting down with her and like we were both realizing that our lives were about to change. And to give you an idea of like the type of woman that she is, this girl looked me dead in my face and she said, "I want you to understand, I know that you're just now getting your life together. I don't want you to feel obligated that you have to stay to take care of this baby because I know that you're still working on your sobriety. I know that you're working on what you need to work on, but I need you to understand that, like, I know that our lives are going to change, but I don't want you to feel like you're stuck. And I don't want you to feel like you have to stay. You have every right, as long as you stay sober and do what you're supposed to do, to be in this baby's life. But I just don't want you to feel like you have to stay because we just now got to know each other. This is an accident, yada, yada, yada." And like, dude, I'm going to be completely honest with you. Like, the rest of that night, like, I truly thought about it. I did. Like,
That's what I
you
was
know,
gonna ask. Did you think about
oh,
dipping out?
100% I did. 100% I did. Dude, I'm a dog at heart. I want to run.
I get that. I mean, I think
Yeah.
I think anybody at that age in that situation,
Yeah, man, I
even not
hadn't.
in that situation, I think anybody just
Yeah, dude.
normal would have that same reaction.
Yeah, man. I mean, like, the first time this happened, I'm 16, it doesn't go through. The next time I'm 18, miscarriage. This time I'm 25, and there's no question she's keeping and I didn't want her to not keep Riley. It's just like she's gonna go through with this pregnancy, and then like I'm sitting here like, dude, I just got sober and got out into, I've been locked up in this place for over a year. I'm just now back out in civilization. I'm just now getting to do what I want to do. And I'm sober and I have a job and I'm paying my bills and I'm actually living life on life's terms. Like, I want to go be a dog. Like, I want to go do what I want to do. And I just realized that, like, that's not the way that I was raised, nor is that the person that I want to be. And I know better. And I just remember like coming back in and I was just like, I just put my hands on my hips and I looked there and I was like, well, let's get to it. And so, yeah, one thing led to another, man. And here we are. And, we're married and, Riley is now 3 and, um,
God, she's already 3.
she's 3 years old, man.
Dude, that's crazy.
It is very crazy.
He was just turned 9 this last month.
Yeah, that's wild, dude.
You're telling me.
That's wild. Yeah, dude. So we got a house, and we live right by the high school, and it's like, to tell you how like fairy tale dream it is. So Haley grew up 2 streets over from where our house is.
No doubt.
Her grandmother's house is about 6 or 7 houses down from our house, and her cousin, who's basically like her sister, and our godkids live about 13 houses down.
Shoot.
Yeah, dude. So it's all within.
Yeah, you got a good support system there.
Yeah, man. And like now, it's kind of like a fairy tale. And what I mean by that, man, is like, another thing about it is like, football was always my love and my dream. And ever since
Sure.
I quit playing, I always wanted to get back into coaching. And I was given the opportunity to coach Little League. And I kind of got involved, and like the people that I was involved with knew of me and knew my backstory, and like was like, man, this dude probably could really be beneficial. And so I started coaching Little League, and then I got into Little League, and then I got into the flag football league, and then the next thing you know, I get a phone call that's like, hey, we think we want you to come to um, the high school level.
Oh, shit.
And I'm like, wow, okay, so be it. So I was offered a job last year to become assistant coach at Parkersburg South High School, and
Nice.
that's where I'm at. And we just wrapped up the season. Unfortunately, we lost in the playoffs Friday, but
Yeah, it was probably the coach's fault.
yeah, probably. But I mean, dude, it's awesome. Like, I have everything that I've ever loved in my life today, man. Like, and the crazy part about it is, it's like I'm a coach for 8 hours a day at work, and then I'm a coach outside of work.
Right.
And then when football's over, I'm still a coach because I'm a sponsor.
Right.
So I have multiple sponsees. All of my sponsees have over at least a year. I have one sponsee that's dwindling currently. He's getting his stuff together. He had a slip up, but he's okay. Getting ready to get him back into treatment, but he's okay. But I mean, man, it's like I'm a coach 24 hours a day, and
So as a sponsor, what is
yeah.
your main role?
So my role is I basically take them in and show them the steps and help them work the steps. And I teach them how to take inventory. With an inventory, like the fourth step is like in the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous.
Mm-hmm.
So in the fourth step is basically like going through your harms, your fears, your resentments, your sex conduct. And like your sex conduct, a lot of people get that misconstrued. And for people that don't understand it, the sex conduct is like you don't go and give a list of like all the people you've had sex with. It's like, where did I use sex selfishly? Did I use sex to get money? Did I use sex to get drugs? Or did I just use sex because I knew as long as I had sex with her that she wouldn't leave me? Or like instead of talking it out because like we're both alcoholics, or talking out, instead of talking out and trying to figure out what needs to be fixed, we'll just have sex and it'll be okay. Right?
Okay.
Like using it negatively. Like I know
Right.
if I just have sex with her, that we won't have to talk about what's really the issue, and we can just go back to like how we were until tomorrow when it's back to the same old, same old.
Just suppress it, out of sight, out of
Ex-
mind.
exactly. That's using sex in a harmful way.
Okay. Makes sense.
So yeah, so that would be like someone you would put down for your sex conduct. So we go down through all that, and we make a list, and we put the reasons why it's on the list and what we need to do to fix it on the list. And then we make a list of um, people for amends. And making amends, people need to understand this that don't understand it, or people that are in recovery. Making amends to someone is not going to that person and just saying I'm sorry. Right? Nobody wants to hear us say I'm sorry.
Right. Because
Nobody wants to hear it.
it's already past that point.
Yeah, we're way past that point. Amends is, hey, I messed up. I wasn't in the right frame of mind. That wasn't who I was. That's not who I am. I made a mistake due to the actions and the reactions of my disease. And for anyone that does hear this, it is a disease. It is 100% scientifically proven a brain disease, that we made wrong decisions due to our disease. What is there? What am I able to do that can help fix it? Or is there anything that I can do? Now, as I will tell you, Mac, the same way I would tell my sponsees, if they tell you to go fuck yourself, well, then that's when you go home and you try to fuck yourself.
I mean, that's about the only thing you can do at that point.
Exactly.
I mean, one, you've already worn out your welcome before you even got there.
Correct. Now, with that being said, it also says in the 12 steps, we make amends whenever possible, except when to do so would injure them or others. So if you know for a fact going to tell that person to make an amends that you're going to cause harm, you don't do it.
Right.
You write it down, you do what you're supposed to do for yourself, and you let it go. That's why it says in the big book, we're cleaning our side of the street.
So when you say cause harm, what is that definition?
For an example, I had sex with a married woman.
Okay.
Going and knocking on the door 5 years later and going and shaking the hand of the husband and going, hey, buddy, listen, 5 years ago when I was getting drunk as a skunk, I had sex with your wife while you were at work.
Okay.
that's a basic one. You know what I mean? Like that's like a simple one. Causing harm to others. Like for an example, like the woman that I was in a bad relationship with.
Mm-hmm.
I knew that it would cause harm if I tried to come back into there. So the way you go about it is you can go about it different ways. For me personally, when I am telling my sponsees and the way that I was taught, what I do in the old way is you would write a letter. But now that social media is big now, what I've said before is this: reach out on social media first. And what you do is you put it out there, and this is how you put it out there. Hey, just wanted to let you know that I'm doing okay. I'm sober. I'm working a program. A part of working a 12-step program is the amends process. You were on my list of making an amends. I just wanted to know if you would be okay with me making that amends to you. Would you be okay with me writing you a letter or a phone call? You know, if you are able to do it face to face, then it just depends on the situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But would you be okay with that? If they say yes, then you go through with it. If they tell you to go fuck yourself, then there you go. But if they don't respond, then you did your part. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some
No, I mean,
people, some people have different ways about it. Me personally, if we can try to close that case as best way possible, that's what we need to do.
mm-hmm.
I've had those cases before. I know that there are some amends that I can't make.
Sure.
Truly, I have been able to make almost every, if not every, amends. Um, and the crazy part about it is, Mac, and I'll be completely honest with you, for a selfish and self-centered, egotistical alcoholic like myself, making amends to certain people that I've made amends to, they'll tell me things like, "It's okay. I'm just glad you're okay." Me being the selfish, self-centered alcoholic I am, that's not enough.
Right. No, and
It's not. It's not. It's not, man. Like I want that. I want more. It's just like chasing a high. I want that validation. I want that.
right.
Oh my God, it's okay.
Sure.
I want that cherry on top. I don't want just a milkshake. I want the cherry and whipped cream.
So, in terms of the process of the 12 steps, like, how do you move on past that if you're not actually closing that out internally?
So if you did your job but you didn't get what you feel is right, then you
Uh-huh.
need to go back. That's where that constant contact with your sponsor needs to be had. You know what I mean? And also, as a sponsor, that's where you need to be holding your sponsees accountable. Like, buddy, it's not going to be all rainbows and unicorns. The point of the whole amends process is doing your job, cleaning your side of the street. You're not always going to get the satisfaction you want. That's not the point. You're making the amends for those people as well as yourself. But the whole point of it is making the amends.
That makes sense.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah, no,
and
that makes sense.
it's not always going to be that. And I learned that the hard way. You know what I mean? Like, but the funny thing is that most people that are good human beings that understand you, that are truly supportive of you, or that understand this disease, they're going to tell you it's okay. They're just glad that you're alive. They're just glad that you're okay. You
Right, but
know?
I'm an overthinker. I've got anxiety,
Yeah.
whatever. So, I mean, I would feel the same way in that situation. Like, I didn't get enough from that. Like, you didn't give me what I needed to feel okay
No.
within myself. So, that's why I asked, like,
Yeah.
how do you know when you can, like, move past that one? Like, that was,
I think truly for me personally, and I'm gonna keep it on me personally because everyone else has their own opinion about certain things.
sure.
For me personally, to get over it is how well you're working your program. Um, if you get to the point of the amends process that you make amends and you get that closure with that person, but that closure that person gave you is not enough for you, that's your problem.
Okay.
Obviously, you didn't do your program well enough, because, like, if that person that you made amends with didn't give you the set, that's not the point. You know what I mean? The whole point is making the amends. If you made the amends and they accepted it, that's it. That's case closed.
Right. Okay. I
But
mean, that makes sense because,
yeah.
in theory, that part's really not about you.
No, it's not. It's not. You're cleaning. It says it in. It says it in the big book. We are cleaning our side of the street. Now, with that being said, and as that goes on, and I work that with my sponsees and with me personally. Okay, we get through our amends. Now, 10, 11, and 12. That we do that every day.
And that's a wrap for today's episode of the Quadcast.
Remember, breaking stigma doesn't stop when the episode ends. We're building a movement, and you're a part of it. Stay strong, stay aware, and stay connected.
And this is the Quadcast, signing out.